Well, hello. I don't show my face on here very often, and you can see why. I picked up this load of groceries yesterday at Cisco Foods in Anchorage, Alaska. Now, we take these up the haul road to Prudhoe Bay, to Dead Horse, out to the camps, the oil field camps up there in the Arctic. We have, I don't know, several loads a week that go up there. And normally it's pretty, well, I'm going to say uneventful. Anytime we run the haul road, it's not uneventful. There's always something going on, but usually it's not too bad. Yesterday I loaded this. We got out of Anchorage about 8:30 in the morning. Stopped in Wasilla, got fuel, filled up the truck, I got an auxiliary tank on the back of the truck, a gravity tank. Yes, they're legal in Alaska. And filled it up, because you don't want to pay $8 a gallon for fuel up in Prudhoe. Got to Fairbanks, which is about a 6.5 to 7 hour drive from Anchorage. And I realized that my reefer wasn't cooling anymore. And I have a 2-temp reefer. So I have freezers on the back and chilled in the front. So I had to turn around yesterday, drive back to Anchorage, have them unloaded at Cisco, reloaded on another one of our trailers, and then start heading back north to Prudhoe. Now, from Cisco and Anchorage to Prudhoe Bay is 850 something miles. By the time you get out to the camps, it's over 900 miles. So I got out of Anchorage at about midnight, and I got out here to Talkeetna, which is a little over 100 miles. And I'm about to finish a 10-hour break, and then I'm going to drive probably to Coldfoot. It's a little over 15 hours from here to Prudhoe. Now in Alaska, you have 15 hours drive time. But it's further than that out to the camps. So most guys stop in Coldfoot. From Coldfoot, it's 240 miles to Dead Horse or to Prudhoe, and then however far out you got to go to the camps. But Coldfoot is the last place where you can get a cell phone signal until you get close to Prudhoe Bay. Well, you know, there is one little station out there. There's like a maintenance area for the state where you can get a little bit of a signal as you go by it. Doesn't last very long. So basically, unless you have Starlink or something like that, you're not going to get a good cell phone service from Coldfoot to Prudhoe. And you're not going to get much cell phone service from north of Fairbanks to Coldfoot. So it's always good to try to stop somewhere where you get good phone service, where there's civilization. So it's about 10 hours from here to Coldfoot. That is if we don't have any weather issues. So we'll see what happens. But it kind of makes me think about the hours of service regulations. You know, in the lower 48, when you go off duty, your clock keeps moving, right? You can be sitting still and your work clock's disappearing. And then your drive clock will start disappearing. And you're like, this makes no sense. I'm not working, yet I'm burning hours. Make that make sense. Now in Alaska, it doesn't. If I have 5 hours left on my clock when I stop, I have that same 5 hours until my 10-hour break is finished. And then I get my 15 hours driving, 20 hours working. Canada's the same way. Canada, when you go off duty, your clock stops. I mean, that makes sense. But in the lower 48, it doesn't. Now, we've got a new Commerce Secretary, Sean Duffy. My understanding is the guy used to have a CDL. His family was big in the lumber business in Wisconsin, and I don't know much about the guy, but this is kind of an appeal to the Commerce Secretary. Get rid of this ridiculous rule in the hours of service where when you stop, your clock keeps going. Because it makes absolutely no sense. You're making it worse. Because if a guy wants to stop for a couple hours in the middle of his driving, maybe he wants to take a short nap. You know, maybe he wants to get out and walk around and stretch his legs. He's not going to do it because his clock is still ticking. Tick, 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 tick. It's still ticking. You're forcing these drivers to rush, 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 rush. It's less safe now than it was before. Because I tell you what I used to do back in the day. I'd come up on a major city about 4:30, 5 o'clock. I would stop, take a nap, or whatever. Wait till about 7 or 8. Let that rush hour traffic kind of work its way through. And then I would go through town and drive on through the rest of the night or whatever I had to do. But you can't do that anymore. You are forced to start driving and keep driving. Nearly non-stop. And another thing, the 30-minute break. Get rid of that ridiculous 30-minute break. Again, they're the only country, the lower 48 is the only place in North America, well, I don't know about Mexico, that you're mandated to take the stupid 30-minute break. I am a grown man. If I need to take 30 minutes off, I'll take 30 minutes. What you're doing is, all right, you got a guy, he's already busting it, man, because his clock is out, his clock's going to keep ticking no matter what he does. He's getting close to 8 hours, right? After 8 hours, he's got to take a 30-minute break. He's got to get fuel. So what does he do? He says, well, I'll pull off on the fuel island, get fuel, and try to burn my 30-minute break up right there. I understand why they do that. I totally get it. At the same time, you're wreaking havoc on the fuel islands. And while some of this is just laziness on drivers' parts, and it is, any guy who parks his truck and goes in that truck stop and takes a shower or whatever, that's lazy. But I also get the guys who are trying to burn that 30-minute break. They're trying to kill two birds with the same stone, man. And I get that. I really do. I don't blame them. I blame whoever made the ridiculous rule. Get rid of it. Just get rid of it. We don't do that in Alaska either. They don't do that in Canada either. Like I said, I can't speak for Mexico. Get rid of it. You're wreaking havoc on the trucking industry with these ridiculous rules. You're making it less safe. I'm going to say something controversial here. You want to make the highway safer? Go back to paper logs. Just go back to paper logs. Are guys going to cheat? Oh, hell yes. Did I used to cheat? Oh, hell yes. You know what? The accident rate was lower. As far as accidents that are the fault of a truck. Now, accidents are the fault of a car. Until you guys get serious about safety and actually start doing something with these speeding, reckless driving cars, nothing's going to change. So that's a whole nother topic for another story, for another video. But go back to paper logs. Guys will drive when they feel like driving and they will sleep when they're tired. Are they going to cheat? You bet they will. Are they going to be safer? You bet they will. Because they don't have a machine telling them when they have to drive, when they have to rest. Are some guys going to drive fatigued? Yes. Some guys are driving fatigued now. That's never going to change. Sorry. It's not until you build some superhuman truck driver or everything goes autonomous, which is not possible in every situation. You're going to have driver fatigue. It's going to happen. You do your best to minimize that. But by and large, you're going to have safer drivers. Sleeping when they're tired and driving when they feel like driving. That's just my opinion. Anyway, I'm just waiting for my break to get over so I can head to the Arctic. You know, we'll see what happens. Hopefully we have no issues, no more issues. This reefer's running good. Truck's running fine, just got serviced. We take care of our equipment up here. You have to, otherwise you're going to be in a bad situation. That's just my 2 cents. I appreciate you watching. Please like, subscribe. I would appreciate it. Thank you very much.